Good morning and welcome to Morning Brew. It's a holiday today, and I was deciding if I was going to do this live or just repurpose another one from a previous conversation or brew. But I decided to come on live on this Labor Day and be able to just share some morning brew with you. So if you are available, I know it's a holiday. Most people take advantage of the time off, being able to have some me time or hang out with family and friends. But if you're in a position and you could chime in for this, I'll make it short today for this morning brew with Germaine, then chime in. Chime in for coffee. I'm brewing mine right now. It gets a little hard waiting until about 10:30 a.m. to have my coffee, but hey, the hazelnut is still going to be good. So, if you're here, but let's get into this real quick. Today's message or today's brew is when purpose finds you in pieces. That's the brew for the day. All right. So when purpose finds you in pieces. So I'll give it a few minutes. If anybody is available, if they're not too busy on their day off, if they're off and they want to just chime in for a quick coffee break, then you know what? Just stop by. Stop by for a moment. But with that being said, we're going to get into it. So if you do get in, then you know what? Then you'll be able to just pick up wherever we are. And then if you need to replay it back, you can do that also on all the platforms. Okay. But let's get into it. So when purpose finds you in pieces, so we're pretty much going to begin to discover direction in broken places today. Okay. And so let's talk about this. We often think purpose waits for perfection. Are you guilty of that? I could say I am, wanting everything to be so perfectly done before we execute and move forward with it. But let me say this, that's once we're healed. So these are the things we might be waiting on. Once we're healed, whole, or fully read, then we'll be used. Is that how you're thinking? Are you thinking that you can't be used no other way unless you are completely 100% perfect? I'm going to share some things with you to let you know that life doesn't work like that. If you make yourself available to be used, guess what? You could be used in your purpose. Even if you're still on a journey of discovering purpose, you can still be used. You don't have to be 100% perfect because you'll probably never get there, okay? Okay. So, this brew is just a reminder that purpose doesn't wait for your picture to be perfect. It shows up right in the middle of the mess. How many people have been experiencing that? Have you experienced that? Have you realized that, you just feel like everything just right around you? It's like, and guess what? Purpose shows up even in the midst of that, right? So, just to let you know, you don't have to be flawless to be impactful. You don't need a platform to be powerful. Sometimes purpose finds you while you're still in pieces and teaches you how to build something meaningful from what was broken. Yeah, let that steep just a little, okay? Let that just steep a little, let it marinate, let it brew just a little. And I hope that helps someone that feels like everything has to be so perfect in order for you to be purposeful, your life to be purposeful. So, uh, I think my coffee has stopped. Give me a second. It has. Let me just grab this real quick. I need this morning. I need this. You may have already had yours, depending on where you are in the world, but I need mine right now. So give me a second. While we begin to pour into, well, ah, Have to get my hazelnut creamer in there too. Have to just stir it a little. You might hear a little clacking and clinking in my Yeti cup mug, but I'm gonna try to be as light as I can so it's not clinging in your ear. But we're mixing it all up. Okay, that seems to be good. Hold on, we're almost there. Just putting my lid on so I don't get burned. All right, so now that we're there and the coffee is hot, we're about to go into this segment of pouring into purpose. All right, where we can find clarity, courage, and even tap into possibly maybe your calling. But let's see. So let's start pouring. Your brokenness can be a bridge. That things that try to break you, it may be the exact thing that helps someone else cross into freedom. Isn't that something? So, even in our mess, we don't even realize sometimes in our state of brokenness, or even if we're in a place of not feeling like we're 100% or have it all together, it can still be beneficial and help someone else. So, let's go ahead. Let's break it down a little more as we pour into purpose. What crushed you may just be the story that carries someone else. I need a sip on that one. Hold on. Ooh, that's hot. And I just want to say hello over on Instagram, my girl Holly on point. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Brew. So today, just as an update, we are talking about when purpose finds you in pieces. All right, so let's continue in this pour into purpose segment. So your transparency is someone else's permission to heal. Did you hear that? Your transparency, just being transparent? You never know who you're going to affect changing in their own lives just by you being transparent, being open for someone to see that you don't have to have it all together, even in your breaking points. You don't have to have it all together, and someone can still take away and have it be a blessing for their own life. All right, let's pour a little more. All right, as this coffee kind of cools off because it's really hot. So, purpose often shows up in pain. Let me say that again. Purpose often shows up in pain. Some of the greatest assignments are born out of adversary. The heartbreak gave you compassion. That failure gave you insight. That detour revealed your voice. So purpose doesn't always arrive as clarity. No, it doesn't. Sometimes it shows up as disruption. Don't curse that crack. That's where the light got in. So I just want to reiterate this. You do not have to have it all together. You do not have to be this picture of perfection in order for your life to be purposeful. It's in the broken places sometimes that gives you the greatest reward for someone else to glean from you in order to find that there's hope even for their own life. So remember, purpose often shows up in pain, but look at what you take away from those things also. A lot of times we get focused right on the very thing, the very pain that we're feeling. But do you ever stop to take a moment to see what has come out of that pain, like compassion or great insight, or even your voice being elevated and raised up? So now you can hear really you. Okay. All right. We're going to continue to pour into purpose because, oh, I always say these morning brews are for me first and foremost. Now, if anybody else out there, and if you want to take part in, just really getting what I'm getting from it, then that's on you. It may show up a different way for you because we're at all different stages in our life. But I tell you, I am first partaker, and boy, it's good right now, just like this coffee. All right, guys. So we're going to pour our final into purpose right now. You're not behind, you're being built. I know a lot of times we get so caught up in time and not being on time and what has happened to all the time. And I'm so far behind, especially when I'm focusing looking at other people and where they may be at in their life. Please don't do that. Your life is yours and theirs is theirs. So right now, you're not behind. Think about it. You are being built. This season may not look like progress for you. Have you been there? Have you been there when you feel like you're just giving your all, your everything, and it's like, I don't feel like I'm moving forward? Keep in mind, it's preparation. Okay? It's preparation. Character is forming, wisdom is deepening. Your foundation is getting stronger, even if no one can see it yet. So stop looking for people to see your progress. I promise you, your work that you put in, it will speak volumes for you when it's time. Continue to go through the journey, continue to being built along this journey so you can be the best version of you, right? Okay. So remember, you're not late. You're learning. You're not broken. You're becoming. Keep that in mind. Don't rush the process. Do not rush the process. All right. So now this is a segment that we all can take part in. You know, this segment is reflection questions. I got 3 of them for you today. Normally I only have 2, but today I have 3. So let's talk about these reflection questions. Now remember, you can answer these questions whenever you choose to answer these questions, okay? You do not have to put them in the comments. You don't have to let everybody know about it. These are for you. So here's the first one. What area of your life feels the most broken? And what could it be teaching you? You want me to say that again? Okay. What area of your life feels the most broken? And what could it be teaching you? Okay. Now, if you can't write these fast enough, remember, you can always go back and play this over again anytime. I encourage you, especially over on YouTube. Go to YouTube and subscribe, get the notifications. All right. And then if you want to later on, we play this, we repurpose it again at 6:05 p.m. for the evening pour. So if you missed something today and you're heading home later, then you know what? Just pop it in or just chime in. All right. So let's look at reflection question number 2. Where have you been waiting to be ready instead of being real? All right. My dog Penny, she wants to play now in the background. So I need her to like sit down. I hear her little feet pattering. But let me say that question again. Where have you been waiting to be ready instead of being real? All right. So number 3, because normally we only have 2, but I want to leave this one with you also. How can you use your pain as fuel for purpose this week? I'm going to give that to you again. How can you use your pain as fuel for purpose this week? Okay. All right. So, like I stated, let those questions, whenever you're ready to water them, whenever you're ready to answer them, that's on you. But those are just reflection questions that I leave for those in the community, those that are watching, something for you to reflect on and think about based on today's brew topic. All right, so now this is a segment that we can all take our final sip on. And this is our final sip, which means our time is getting ready to come to an end. on Morning Brew for this Morning Brew segment. Okay. So, but let me say this, you don't have to have it all together to be useful. And I really want you to hear this. Purpose has a way of locating you, even when you're in pieces. Let your cracks be your calling card. Let your story speak, even in the middle of the sentence. Whew. Listen, I know all this to be true. That's why I'm sharing it with you. That's why I am sharing this with you, because it resonated with me first. So, but really, you don't have to have it all together to be useful. Just be. Just be and just show up as you are going through your transition period of being built, right? So, you know how we do. I'm gonna have a few announcements at the end, but right now I just want you to sip slow. I want you to trust the breaking, and purpose is already finding you. So let it find you. Be found. All right. So, guys, thank you so much. I know it's a holiday and I know people are doing their thing, but you know what? You can always go back and listen if you missed it. And so, I just want to leave a few things for you that, as you know, just a rundown. Fridays, we do our Authors Brew Friday, and we have a new author in studio every Friday, as well as we have introduced our Wednesday, which is our Mixed Blend Wednesdays. And so, and I'm going to say this about Mixed Blend Wednesdays. It's a new segment that we are introducing. So don't be alarmed if it's not every Wednesday. It's a new segment. So right now, we've just been working with some experts that's going to be spotlighted in that Wednesday Mixed Blend segment to really be able to bring some knowledge, some insight to us. So just stay connected. I will definitely let you know who's coming up in Mixed Blend Wednesdays, okay? And then also, this is something that I wanted to share. I'm going to pull it up on the screen because there are those that wanted to know how they can be a support to Morning Brew. You know, it takes a lot. It does take a lot. And like I stated, I just stepped out on faith, being courageous and being a little crazy to do 5 days a week live, 5 days a week live. So that means preparing content, even guests, bringing guests on board. But, you know, it does take resources, but that's on me. I made this decision. But some people have asked, how can they help support Morning Brew? So I want to share this. And this is a way for you to support Morning Brew for as little as even buying a cup of coffee, buying me a cup of coffee, right? If you click on, and I'm going to also put it in, let me put this in. Okay. So it's, I think it might only be showing up in the comments on YouTube, but it's pretty much buymeacoffee.com/morning brew with Germaine. So, or you can scan the QR code on the screen. But something as simple as buying me a coffee for $1 will help in supporting this podcast, so we can always make sure we're showing up with information, bringing other voices in that's joining in for coffee breaks, as well as being able to do some fun stuff that's coming down the pipe also. And so I'm excited about it. The merchandising line is soon to hit, so I am super excited that, boy, who would have thought? A few years I've been talking about starting this, and it took me years to start it, and now here we are. And I'm excited with it. I'm happy with it. And you know what? It is fuel for me. And I hope it's fuel for you. So, once again, we will be back tomorrow for another coffee break on Morning Brew with Germaine. And I hope you have a minute to stop by, drop by for coffee. And if not, and if you want to just buy me a cup of coffee, then you know what? Hey, buy me a coffee.com/morning brew with Germaine. Thank you for your support. Thank you for just showing up. Thank you for just being a part of the community and sharing the information. I love you all so much, more than you will ever know. And we will be back tomorrow, and I hope to see you too. Have a great day. Be safe this holiday. All right. But have fun. Enjoy family. Have a great one. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.